welcome everyone to the Circle of Debate podcast, episode 78. This is the host, Stevie's one, Ivan C. Here with my brother from another mother, the fellow horseman. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to Flanders because he's back. You saw him back on the MMA episodes, but now he's back on the regular COD episodes. And that is, of course, the man who travels around the world directing, making music, and playing music, and raising hell all over the world. And now he's back here with us. He is the director, the one and only CK1 CHRIS Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm back. I'm catching up on Dynamite, and I may not be wearing pants.
I can believe that. Oh, man, I believe that. Roman Reigns. Oh, shit. That is right. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Money Mike will be joining me later on. No Matt Callis today. He's busy, but he'll join us in the recap next week. But, yes, now before we get into anything else with Full Gear and the media call that we had with Tony Khan, but let's get into what happened on Dynamite 24 hours ago, 48 hours ago for everybody. This is pre-recorded. But, yes, let's go ahead and talk about the opening match, director. And that is, these two have not seen each other in a long time. And I'm talking about the American Dragon and Bryan Danielson versus, of course, he is himself from Chaos. So that is the man who's leading the New Japan LA dojo here in SoCal, Mr. Rocky Romero. So I want to get your thoughts of that fantastic, great opening match between these two individuals.
Yeah, obviously the more veteran fans may know that these two know each other. But one thing I can really appreciate with Danielson Bryanville is
it's hard because Daniel Bryan, right?
I can't do it. I'll do it. I'll Jim Ross my way into this. Is that he isn't just picking the biggest, best, most famous people on that roster. This is the first fight of the night or match of the night. He's not just, I know how legendary I am. I'm only going to go after the biggest, best things. He's not pulling a Brock over here. So to see him opening a TV card with someone who the American crowd may not be as familiar with yet is awesome. I love that he's humble that way. He respects the game. Good match. They've obviously worked together before. It was technical. Bryanson got the win by sub, of course. And it just kind of moves him forward a little bit, but doesn't really move Rocky Romero back at all. So it's a good opener for sure.
Oh, man.
But opening with that, man, guys, just yes.
Yeah, right? But speaking about, yes, you know what? We never got your full feelings about Bryan Danielson going to AEW. I want to get your feedback. Like, are you happy that, he signed for 3 years, by the way, 2024. Yeah. I mean, the man he's like, I'm going to be here for quite some time. And, he still mentioned in previous, a recent interview that he had, he said, okay, you know what? This could be my last contract. You never know. But he said that, him and Bray talked about maybe one last match in WWE, then hang the boots. But are you happy that Bryan Danielson is at AEW? What was your feeling when you've heard about it? Like, what was your thoughts?
Well, I know the terms in which he was left with WWE was that he wanted to be the first to get through that forbidden door, but remain on the WWE roster. Obviously, Vince wasn't having that, and Vince said, well, I'll pay you a lot more money. You're not going through any doors. And since you may not want to wrestle for us, I think they wanted to make him a talent agent, something like that. Like they were going to offer him like a lot more money to have a desk job. And I don't know him at all, but from interviews and him talking, I kind of know that he just wasn't done testing himself worldwide. So I'm happy that he's happy. He's obviously negotiated a contract he likes. So I think that's great for business. Obviously sets a precedent, as well as every other signee that occurred or showed up that night, that you can negotiate a better deal somewhere else. And even if it is for less money, it's better quality wrestling. I don't know the dollars and cents, but yeah, I'm happy they're happy.
Awesome, man. And I can't wait. These 3 years are going to be great for Bryan Danielson. And I cannot wait to see, what other future matches are going to happen with him as well.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the quick segment of the, I think this is one of by far my favorites feuds right now with the Inner Circle and American Top Team, man. And then to see fucking Dan Lambert powerbombing Jericho to a fucking table. Oh my God. He was kind of struggling though for this bit, but man, your thoughts about Dan Lambert, man.
This is, man, I don't want to say this is MMA in pro wrestling done right, because Ken Shamrock definitely did it, and Brock Lesnar kind of copied the Ken Shamrock gimmick, 10 years later. But when Ken Shamrock came over as the world's most dangerous man, he was an established MMA world champion, going through Pancrase, UFC, some Pride fights. And he got to keep that, style adapted to pro wrestling, and it worked. There's been copycats ever since. This is the surprise hit of the summer. I did not know I always knew Dan Lambert was a personality, seeing him on like Ultimate Fighter, Black Zillions versus Top Team, where current welterweight champion Kamaru Usman won that season. But yeah, he has an unlimited roster. Obviously, we've seen Amanda Nunes in the audience. She can come out and like crack bit breakers. She can do whatever she wants to anyone. Andre Arlovsky, Junior Dos Santos getting in there. Obviously Street Jesus, Jorge Masvidal. It's exciting. I mean, basically they just replaced the pinnacle essentially as far as a 6v6 style War Games or Survivor Series match. It's just the same angle, just copied and pasted a whole new team.
Right.
Dan Lambert on the mic, man. I can't get over how good he is. I can't get over how I thought I really loved MJF, man, but Dan Lambert's like his dad. He's really good. And he does. I've said this before. He's articulate. He doesn't stutter. He's just talented on the mic. It's wild. I love it. It's hard to separate, reality that these MMA fighters could destroy any one of those pro wrestlers besides maybe Jake Hager. But suspended disbelief, like pro wrestling is, it's entertaining to watch.
Oh man, definitely. And you know what? I mean, and I forgot that Lambert was. This is not his first stunt, in pro wrestling. He did it at Impact, because I totally forgot that Lashley, I believe, was part of American Top Team, right?
Lashley?
Lashley.
Bobby Lashley?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley. He was
Black Lesnar.
He was part of. He was part of American Top Team
when he was in Strike Force. Or not, yeah, Strike Force.
Was it Bellator, right? Bellator.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember that that stint that he did in Impact. So I totally forgot about it. But man, it was good to see. This is a great feud. I don't think this feud is gonna be over, but man,
I think it's gonna get its own kind of stadium stampede, but maybe in an octagon.
Oh my God! You just
War Games octagon.
War Games.
Oh, bro! Oh. But it's too like So the old for a while it was Strike Force, I believe. Yeah. They were doing they were rotating. They had events where it would be a kickboxing ring next to a cage, and they would have the kickboxing match, and then when that was over, the MMA fight started. And then they would rotate back and forth between the two.
Yeah.
Might have been Glory, either Glory or Strike Force, but they were rotating. When one fight ended in the ring, the fight started in the cage, and then they would rotate. So yeah, a War Games stadium stampede, 2 octagons or 1 big giant octagon. That'd be wild.
What about this? What about if they do I don't know if you ever seen it in Europe. I think it's somewhere in Europe I saw it.
Don't be talking about that Russian tag team.
Yeah, like
no. That shit don't fly. People getting hit in the back of the head. People are like in guard getting punched, and all of a sudden like 3 guys come behind in German suit. No, I'm not into that. That's just big fights, dude. Nah.
That's like like a fucking street fight, straight out, right?
Yeah. That's just crazy. People getting double legged by like 9 guys, like nah. And also, I want to clarify something real quick. It's a Boston Crab.
That's right. It's a Boston Crab. Wow, I cannot wait, man. This is gonna be awesome. Now we do have those 6, women's 6-man tag match, which we did see last week. It wasn't gonna happen. Thunder Rosa, Anna Jay, you're, and I'm gonna say exactly. And Tay Conti versus DMD, Jamie Hayter and Rebel. Your thoughts about that match?
Tay Conti got the pin and the win in that one, right? Setting up a match versus Britt Baker this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I like that. She deserves a title shot. The Anna Jay storyline seems pretty strong. There's no way Conte's winning, but you can't have two number 2 contenders. So I don't know if there's going to be a rift between them or if they're going to keep that sister bond going. I don't want to predict that like Anna Jay turns on Tay Conti. I mean, that would be so Vince of them to do that, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. You know, like I mean, realistically, Tay should win, but not like for the story. You know, like Tay could definitely beat the shit out of Britt Baker in real life, so it's really hard for me to like pretend that she can't do it in the ring. So that's all it comes down to. But I think Tay's going to lose. But I don't know if it's going to be outside interference or heel turn by Anna Jay at all. I have no idea.
Oh, all right. We have Jungle Boy, Anthony Bowens. Max Caster is on a roll, man.
Yeah.
He did mention, you know, Anna Jay about leaving your girlfriend with 7 other guys. Like, oh my God, man, this guy, he's your new modern day John Cena, you could say, when it comes to
yeah, he's definitely edgelord for sure. Yeah. Homegrown talent, both AEW guys coming up. Obviously Jungle Boy is going to be like the number 2 guy for the TNT title probably for the next year. You know, it's inevitable that he's going to get it. But it's just not going to be now, but it's inevitable. Like it's going to be a big pop. Like he is, in my opinion, right now where Daniel Bryan was before he won the 2 belts that one night. So this is the Jungle Yes movement right now.
I love that. And now we're seeing the aftermath with this, Bobby Fish attacking him, softening him up for tonight on Rampage. Because remember, you're watching this Friday, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, man, Bobby Fish, Jungle Boy. Are you looking forward to seeing that on Rampage today?
Man, I can't keep up. I love the Bobby Fish is over there too. Jungle Boy is gonna probably lose that by like probably gonna go to like DQ or something like that, or you know, like count out, double count out. It's too soon to have Bobby Fish lose clean or Jungle Boy win clean, I think, for either one of them, you know?
Yeah.
So that might be like a double count out, might be the tragic 50-50 booking they might have to pull off, but they're allowed 1 a year, and I think this might be it.
And, you know, and I did like, you know, that little promo, man. I like right after backstage, you see the young Bucks and Adam Cole, and they're, you know, Adam Cole introducing Bobby Fish to the young Bucks. Boy, this is not an era anymore. This is the elite era. Like, you know, kind of referencing obviously Undisputed Era. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, man. Elite. Yeah,
I'm like, Adam Cole, say something, man.
Elite era. I can't even hand signal this. I can just. That's it. Yeah. Too many, and then there's too many hands. It's like sign language trying to keep up with pro wrestling nowadays. Everybody's got a thing. It's just the only 2 that matter is this and this. And this. Yeah.
All right. And then we do see Dante Martin, Leo Rush's debut on Dynamite, teaming up together versus Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty. This match, I enjoyed it. I think the crowd enjoyed it. A lot of flippity do, and I don't know, disrespect to the, you know, I'm just saying it like that. But it was great on both sides. I enjoyed it. Man, are we going to see Dante going full on heel? I mean, it's transitioning to that level with Leo Rush. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Leo Rush has always been potential megastar. He's gone through some shit, literally like emotionally, physically. I think he had a busted rib. So, you know, obviously he got let go from WWE because he earned himself like permanent young boy status. They kind of hazed him a little bit, but a little bit is himself. He was a little immature and thought he was Bobby Lashley. And then he went to Impact, and then I think he got a rib injury, and then he retired and he said he's done, I think is what happened. Or is Impact still called Impact, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was like, and then he showed up at Hollywood Wrestling. I remember that he was supposed to be in that tournament, or he was Hollywood Championship Wrestling. Yeah,
he was in the United Wrestling Network tournament. Yes,
yeah. So he was in that, and then I think he retires again, and then he's like, "I'm finally done," and then now he's back in AEW. So he has all of the talent in the world to be great. I just don't know if he has like a mental block that he has to get over, maybe because he's young. I mean, he's probably still less than 30, obviously. But I hope he finds a home there and he's welcome and he really gets that ball rolling because Leo Rush is infinitely talented. This match itself, if you really want to know what happened, watch it in slow motion and still try to keep up. It was probably one of the fastest matches I've ever seen. It was like watching 4 Tasmanian Devils just going full blast. It was, yeah, I couldn't. It was definitely a very fast-paced match.
I enjoyed it. I love all 4 of them, and Seidel, and this is like your Cobra Kai fucking type of segment. You have the teachers and students teaching. I'm taking them in my wings. You get him in his wing type of style. This is like some Cobra Kai segment for me. I like it.
Definitely.
I love it, Leo. All right, and then we have Dax Harwood versus Pac. This match overall, man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I fucking enjoyed it. The chemistry these two individuals have, and not only that, we finally get to see Harwood's, singles action more. We've seen him with Jungle Boy before, and now with Pac, this was more intense, heavy hitting, and I fucking enjoyed it. I loved it, man. And then of course we see the aftermath of what happened. Of course, Cash Wheeler came in, make the save, and then the lights went out, and your boy Malachi, and then of course Andrade came out, and then the rest of the Lucha Bros. Lucha Bros came out.
Yeah, Lucha Bros with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes.
Lucha Rhodes.
Yeah, Lucha Rhodes. And then we'll get into the full gear, your thoughts about it. But yeah, your thoughts about this match.
God damn. This was super strong style. I don't care what continent you're from. This was strong style if you're Japan, America, or Europe. Those brain busters. First the one off the top rope, and then I think Harwood responded with one of his own. There was a dive that Pac landed where I think he hit Dax so hard it cut him in his arm. There was like blood. Like I think he blocked the dive and it still like pierced. Oh Jesus. They were just cannonballs at each other. They were slinging flesh. It was wild. Never going to be a disappointing match, but it is good to see singles wrestling from tag teams like that. Very few times it's awkward. Like you kind of see that with Proud and Powerful, where it's like their singles runs aren't as great as their tag runs. Where with Dax and the other one, Cash, right? He goes by Cash now, Cash Wheeler, have had singles matches, I think, and they both looked as if that was what they had been doing. I think there was some weird record where like Revolution had not, is that what they're called? Revolution?
Oh, no, FTR.
FTR?
Yeah.
They had gone like 100 matches in a row without ever having singles at one point up until like AEW. And so to see them branch out, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that talent. Because it's a completely different moveset. It's completely different psychology.
Yeah.
As far as Andrade and Malachi Black, they were a tag team when they got moved up to the main roster I'm thinking of Malachi and
Ricochet.
Fuck. I was like, yeah, I had something there. I was like, oh, remember when they did that? I'm like, no, that's the other flyer. Yeah, it's a weird team. I think they just needed a team to fill a match gap versus Lucha Rhodes, which Cody, come on, man. This is my throat. This is Cody in a fist. Everybody feels that way. Cody is becoming everything he created out of hate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He is just jamming himself down all of our throats as the good guy. He's the new Roman Reigns, but the old version of the new Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just and now he's like Lucha Bros, they don't need him as their third. Bring back Death Triangle. Why is Pac not in this? Like, unless I'm missing something, like I have missed a few Dynamites.
Well, I mean, what this turned out,
I know Malachi like is kicking the shit out of the Nightmare Family for sure.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is now you have coming up in Full Gear, you're gonna have Andrade and Malachi versus Cody and Pac now. So now they're gonna be teaming up versus each other, which the rumor when it was supposed to be their plans was supposed to be the original plan was to be a fatal 4-way, all 4 of them beating the shit out of each other, but now it looks like it's a tag team. So I mean, that's added to the card Full Gear. So man,
right?
That's
just after Malachi beat Cody. I think he beat him clean in a 1-2-3. That should have been the end of it. I mean, I think the arm attack may have happened after that match. So I guess that's what kept the bad blood. But yeah, just some storylines are kind of going on a little Vincey, a little bit too long. This might be one of them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, which is fine for me. I don't think. I think this should be the end, though. I'm with you. I think this should be the end of it, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And then now we have what happened. Oh, forgot the promo of the MJF and Darby Allin, the little promo, man. Hey, man, this storyline coming Full Gear.
Yeah.
You tell me, man. Talk to me, bro. Talk to the people. Give the people what they want. Dirty heels.
There's a lot of room for MJF to just keep talking that shit. He has just an unlimited supply of bangers as far as like, we heard what he did to Brian Pillman Jr. That was savage. And then Darby plays the victim. That's his character. And that is just tailor-made for someone like MJF, the spoiled rich guy, to just rain insults. And that's all we're getting. I don't know if Darby's going to lose. Is Darby? No. Who has the TNT? Who has the Dynamite title right now?
Sammy Guevara.
Sammy, that's right. Okay, so Darby lost it to Miro. Miro lost it to Sammy. Got it. This doesn't really hurt anyone with a loss, but I think it hurts MJF more to lose this one because you can't talk all that shit and then lose. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of ruin that character. So I think there might be like a Wardlow interference. And then Sting comes out, and then Sting turns on Darby. Finally, it's gonna happen. No, I'm gonna stop that until it does happen. I just think this is gonna be shenanigans, and then MJF gets to win. I think there'll be like a fucking the F10 into the salt of the earth punch or the diamond ring. Oh, the F10, and in the second spin, he takes him out with the diamond ring punch.
Wow.
Darby could take that. Yeah, let's do that. Write that down, Tony Khan.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see. I'd like to see MJF keep the win streak. I mean, it's not really a streak, but like just give him the fuel to keep talking all that smack. It's good. It's good.
Oh man. But now, speaking of, write it down. We got the main segment of the evening for Dynamite, as we did see.
Well, there's one thing I think we missed. Let me make sure we missed it.
Okay.
And that is our boy, the king, the Mad King, Mr. We have to tell him wrestling is fake. Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk. That feud is fire. That is as real as it gets. That is like, there's no characters in that. That is those two guys going at it. And I love it. I'm here for it. I love that. There's like, it's all kayfabe. It's like, there's all kayfabe and no kayfabe at the same time. Like those are like bada boom, realest guys in the room style fight right there.
Yes, right. I can't wait, man. I cannot wait for Full Gear. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
Oh man. And so yes, with the main segment of the evening for Dynamite, we have the contract signing of Omega and Adam Hangman. I guess you shot the end, they shook hands, but then who was the cameraman? Of course. No wonder why Matt is not here, of course.
He was dressed up like the cameraman. Had a
haircut. Of course, Don Callis, made his presence known. He's been gone for 6 weeks, and now, busted Adam Page and Omega, like just signing his signature with his blood, and like, oh, rest. All right, I like that. A little bit typical WWE type of a segment in reality. I mean, come on, not gonna deny it here, but hey, this is gonna be interesting because this is the end of the tunnel for Hangman Page. So, man, your thoughts about seeing all this with Dynamite, going into Full Gear coming? What are your thoughts about Full Gear, and should this is a do or die for Hangman to win the title? Who do you got winning? Do you got Hangman winning, or what are your thoughts about it?
I got some fuckery afoot ideas going on here. So yes, this is Hangman Page's third major title shot. The first one against Jericho, lost it in the inauguration. Lost the tournament for the title versus Kenny Omega in the finals, I believe. This is the rematch of that. You don't lose a third title match and ever be considered championship material ever again. I mean, at least outside of WWE, who titles change hands like underwear. So I mean, like Charlotte Flair, like random fact, I didn't know this. Sasha Banks has like held the title 9 times and has never defended it once. She has like 0 successful title defenses. I didn't ever know that. That's a wild stat.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every time Sasha Banks wins, she never successfully defends it. It's crazy. So there's a few things that might be between the lines that I would like to see if this is what happens. And the first thing is the contract was signed in blood. So theoretically, Hangman can win this match. And we all know Don Callis has a lawyer on retainer. We saw him a few months back. And the lawyer could come out and be like, well, technically it wasn't signed by Hangman Page. It wasn't his handwriting. It wasn't in ink. So the contract is void. Adam Page may have won the match, but the title was void. So Kenny gets to keep it. That would be awesome. I would love that. That would be troll level 9,000. That's what I want. The flip side to that is that they try to pull that shit, and then Adam Page has like another lawyer. His lawyer comes out, or Tony Khan comes out. And Tony Khan really doesn't go on TV. I love that. He keeps his mouth shut and he stays backstage, does silly promos over at Impact. Keep it that way. He's not Vince. He's not Bischoff. He's not Russo. He doesn't come out, run the show. Someone else can come out and be like, well, actually, it was signed in, it's his DNA. So he did sign it and he does get the title. And then that's how he keeps the belt, or, the belt moves over to Hangman Page. I like the one where he wins but doesn't get to keep the belt. That would be great. I would love that. That's what I would like to happen. I don't know if I'm too creative for that. I don't know. I just like that idea so much that if it happens, yay.
I know. I'm hoping so too. I mean, it's going to be a 4-hour show, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be, man, the card itself is fucking fantastic. It's going to be insane. 4 hours of pro wrestling. This is like, could we compare Full Gear to what? This is like more like their Survivor Series or the WrestleMania. No, you know what?
Their Survivor Series is more like whenever they do this Stadium Stampede, or they did something earlier this year. That was like the 6 versus 6.
Okay. No, because I was talking about like the pay-per-view name. Like this, we noticed that last year this was like you mentioned about last year's, Full Gear, how it was. I mean, with the Kenny Omega and Adam and the tournament, how it was stacked last year, and then like so far, man, this Full Gear pay-per-view has been like, I don't know, that's what I'm saying. It's like
right, but as far as like format, I mean, obviously seasonal Survivor Series is the fall pay-per-view. Yeah. So you could compare it as far as the seasons go, but when it was the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle, when it was like the losers have to break up, that was the Survivor Series pay-per-view to me. Okay. As far as like that was a 66 elimination style. But this is like their fall major WrestleMania. This is like they put on a lot of big pay-per-views, like one a month. That's always bigger than some of the bullshit WWE puts out, as far as like No Way Out or like or King of the Ring, like the littler ones, not the big four, where AEWs constantly feel important.
Okay. I'm with you on that, man. So yes, man, Full Gear, man, it's exciting, man. Out of all the matches, if you recall, I can break it down just in case if you don't.
I can bring it up right now.
All right. Just to, let the people know which one you think will be the steal of the night. Which one will steal the show for your prediction?
I have to turn my ad block off just to look at this darn page here. Let me do that real quick. All right, continue page. I think I fixed it. There we go. All right. Well, starting with the main event. I don't want to start with the main event. Let's start at the bottom. Oh, Survivor Series? Oh, is this Sunday? Actually, I didn't even know that.
Oh, that's next Sunday, 21st. The 21st.
Okay, next Sunday. Got it.
It's 2 more weeks.
This might be part of the what is it called? Take home show, the opener. Christian Cage, Jurassic Express versus Superclick, Adam Cole and Young Bucks. Oh, god damn. Wait, that's actually starting the card off. That's not the buy-in, right?
Oh, the buy-in is Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter versus Thunder Rosa. No, and Hikaru Shida. That's the buy-in on YouTube.
Yeah, I got you. That sounds cool. I like Nyla Rose a lot. She's probably gonna lose that one. I think she's due for a face turn.
Mm.
Yeah, Christian Cage, Jurassic Express, Super Click. That's gonna be such a good match. That's crazy. That's starting the thing off. Young Bucks are gonna win that one for sure. Darby Allin, MJF. I got MJF. Tag Team Championship, Lucha Brothers versus FTR. Lucha Brothers are going to retain that. I thought Lucha Brothers were doing something with Cody Rhodes. Is that separate?
No. Remember, I mentioned that it's going to be Pac and Cody.
Oh, Pac and Cody Rhodes. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Luchas are going to retain on that one. Inner Circle versus Top Team. Top Team's going to win that by fuckery.
Oh shit!
CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. Man, I don't hate Kingston winning that one. I think that would be very humbling. Not to CM Punk as the human who, to Phil Brooks, but as like the character, that would be pretty cool to see him take that loss. Bryanson versus Miro. That's gonna be Bryanson. DMD versus Tay Conte. I'm reading this. The first word that I see is where I'm reading. Britt Baker versus Tay Conte. Britt Baker is gonna retain. And the main event, obviously, you just got my prediction. It's gonna be Paige wins, but contractually, Omega gets to keep the belt.
Hey, if that happens, I will bow down to you.
Sometimes that's what I would like that. That would give me a nice little wrestling boner right there. I'd be like, that's sick.
Yes, it does. All right. And of course, remember, ladies and gentlemen, do not miss tonight's AEW Rampage tonight. It's only 2 matches in the card: the Jungle Boy, Bobby Fish, and you have Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy, which we forgot to mention the aftermath of the tag of Wheeler Yuta and Wardlow match, the squash, and then Hardy attacked, best friends in Orange Cassidy. It's a lumberjack match. So I guess that feud is not over yet either. So that's like another long feud that's been going with the HFO, the Hardy Factory family. So that's been going on with best friends. That's in the countdown with Full Gear. Right. Now let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, very briefly. The media call that Tony Khan had. The media call asking him what's going to happen. And a lot of questions were, big topics were answered. So one was he did mention about the Owen Hart Cup coming. He will be, announcing details after Full Gear of how the Owen Hart Cup will be. Pretty much how he's going to break it down. How is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? And pretty much breaking down the whole story of the Owen Hart Cup. And I don't know if you're excited, director. Owen Hart Cup, coming in fruition. Hopefully we'll get this. What is your expectation of this Owen Hart Cup? Do you feel like it should be like a classic King of the Ring? Because Owen Hart was the King of Hearts. He won a King of the Ring.
Blackheart. I think when he won King of the Ring, he was the Blackheart, right?
No, he was regular. He was
regular Heart.
Yeah, the King. Okay. Yeah, the King of Hearts at the time before it became Blackheart.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
if anyone over at WWE is mad that someone is paying respect to Owen Hart, it's because you dumb people took 24 years to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why it took AEW coming around this far, this long, to do something about respecting Owen Hart's name. You guys haven't done anything, so you can't be mad about it. Obviously, we saw Bret Hart reveal the Dynamite title, the TNT title.
The AEW title. Remember when it first began?
Okay, so the original title. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So obviously, the Hart family has some love over at AEW. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I find it disrespectful that WWE didn't do something like this sooner.
Well, they can't because Owen's Hart widow is not allowing them. So she gave the blessings to Tony Khan. Like, okay,
yeah,
you know what? Go for it, So
which is great news. I love that. As far as is it not for a title, right? It is a King of the Ring round robin tournament. Is that the
that's the concept of it. He's going with it.
There's nothing booked for it, right? Is there like a date or participants or anything?
He hasn't announced none of that yet, but he did announce it's a cup going, and he will announce more after Full Gear.
Okay,
so I'm looking forward for how is he going to break it down.
So I don't hate the round robin tournament format. There is just so much of it. Obviously, King of the Ring being the first one, the Mae Young Classic being another one. They just did it for the heavyweight title where Kenny, won it. So the thing is like you don't know what else. There's nothing else to do to have. There's no other realistic format unless you like make something up and that just adds to the illusion of pro wrestling being a real sport.
Right.
You can't have like a ranking system because they already have that for the major titles. I don't want them to have a battle royale because that's the Andre Classic. You can't do 50-man Royal Rumble because that's the greatest Rumble. So it's really hard to find something original that comes off as respectful and legit right now. So they probably are going to do a round robin tournament, and it'll be an annual event for a cup, not for a title.
Yeah, which is great. And have like it's kind of like how NXT does their Dusty Classic tournament.
But what I would like to see, what I would like to see is the King of the Ring. It's semifinals, quarterfinals, and then semifinals. And then you get 2 matches in one night for the finals, right?
Yeah.
I like that. I'll have the whole thing be one night.
Awesome. Right.
The whole thing. Have 8 people, so there's not many matches. You only have to wrestle twice or 3 times. Yeah. So you win your first one, you're in the semis. You win the second one, you're in the finals, and then the third one is for the belt or for the cup. And you can have an event. You can make that one event.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be cool. Again, we're going with what I like to see. Doesn't exactly mean it's going to happen.
Okay. And there's room. And then they mentioned in a call as well, they did belt for belt coming soon. That's going to be an event. It's the way how it sounds like. It sounds like it's going to be an event, belt for belt. I don't know what he means by that. If he's talking about TNT,
that only means unification in any other sport.
Right. That's what I'm trying to think about. If he's going to plan to unify, because think about it, TBS, I mean, we'll have Dynamite next year, and they're taking out a TBS title. Then you have the AEW women's title. Then you have the TNT going on title and the AEW World. So I don't know what he mean by that, or unless he's doing a crossover maybe versus other promotions. There's no much detail
because you can't have like the IWGP title come over, or like who has Moxley is the IWGP US champion. Is that what he is? Or
no, he lost that belt. He lost.
He had it.
Yeah,
so
he had it before.
Whoever has it, let's say that belt, and then if it's a belt for belt versus the Dynamite title, and then the winner takes all. Like belt for belt means that you walk away with both belts.
Exactly.
And that's too much responsibility for one wrestler to promote both companies like that, and both companies probably wouldn't want to do that. If it was belt versus belt, then you can have, the Intercontinental versus the US title, not for a title, but the champions fighting. That's totally cool. That's way less sloppy, in my opinion. So it might be that.
Okay, yeah, you never know. It might be that. Yeah, you never know. The other thing he mentioned they asked him about the Ring of Honor talent, since you already heard about Ring of Honor shutting down their doors, releasing all their talents. And they asked him, so are we going to be seeing Ring of Honor talent going to AEW? He said, you know what, I am a couple friends, I'm friends with some Ring of Honor talent. So are we expecting some of those talents to go to AEW? And if you, I know you're overwhelmed with a lot of things in your consummation in your head, but
I'm catching up. I have no idea who's in Ring of Honor right now that I would predict would go to AEW. I mean,
I could name you at least the toppest ones.
I love Marty Scurll before all the shit went down. So that name's off the table. That'd be my pick. What about homeboy that's got that death match versus John Moxley a couple months back? The guy who was like in jail and shit, the hardcore guy.
Oh no, he's in GCW. That's Nick Gage.
Nick Gage. Okay, so he's not from Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor, I can tell you, is Jay Lethal.
Why not? Perfect.
Dragon Lee, who is related to Andrade somehow, I guess, and Roosh too. Roosh. You have
there's someone over there that I'm thinking of, who has like
Danhausen,
kind of like the Fiend. Is that who I'm thinking of? It sounds like the Fiend gimmick, but he's skinny and funny.
Danhausen.
Is that who I'm thinking of? He kind of looks like the Joker.
Makeup, yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Who he has like a very silly magic gimmick.
Yeah.
Danhausen. Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Danhausen.
Yeah, that's the one. Bang. That's my number one pick. Perfect. Yeah.
AEW.
That's the guy.
Well, we're not gonna see him quite some time. He is hilarious. We're not gonna see him quite some time though, because he broke his part of his tibia. So
right in the face leg.
Yes. So he'll be out for quite some time. He'll be back soon.
We got time. We got time before a contract can even be drawn up too. So
Well, yeah. I mean, what like I said, it's going to be interesting if we're going to see any debuts coming, full gear. So could be some of the Ring of Honor talent. Who knows? We don't know. I know it's not going to be Wyndham, which is Bray. It's doing movies, so we know that.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, he could be in two places at once.
Very, very, very true. Very true. And the last that I want to talk about this one because this one really kind of sparked something that Tony Khan kind of did a no on this. For me, it's a no, but I'll explain it to you, and I'll do the best that I can to explain it to you. So a woman journalist asked Tony Khan about if he's planning to do like an all women's event, like how WWE did it for Evolution, or doing some type of event for an all women's pay-per-view. Tony Khan kind of, I know that he probably did not mean it. I don't know if he was, a couple cocktails. I don't know who he was, but he kind of cut her off disrespectfully. Saying, hold on, before I, because she mentioned about NWA Empower, how how AEW women's were at the pay-per-view event and how it was awesome, how they did the first event for it. They asked him, are you planning to do something like that with NWA? He did. So he cut her off and asked, and so first of all, before anything, we cut you off. First of all, I never got credit for sending the AEW, women's roster to NWA Empower. I never got credit for it, and Billy Corgan or NWA never mentioned that. I should.
Were they just sitting in the audience, being known, so they would get TV time, kind of like when Britt Baker was in NXT, or were they actually involved in the event? Like,
the actual event. The actual event.
Okay, so that was co-promoted.
Yeah, the actual event.
All right.
So Tony Khan, I guess, what he mentioned at the end was, I paid him to go over there. NWA didn't pay him. I did. I paid him off their contract from AEW. Paid him on the side. Go, help go do the NWA event. I'll pay you for it. So he kind of threw it out there. So he kind of wanted that credit.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'd say is a no. Like, you, first of all, you kind of cut this woman off, and second is like you're asking for the credit, but you're not really giving the women the credit. That's kind of like
I need to hear the context of the question, how it was interrupted, how it was like the actual transcript.
Yeah.
And how many words she got in before I can even guess. I didn't listen to that audio call because there's just so much content out there. If she was saying something like, would you ever consider, if her question was posed like this, Tony Khan, would you ever consider doing something like an all women's event because you've never done one before? Then I would be insulted, because why don't you know that I have? Unless he never made it public that he had anything to do with NWA, he could respectfully say, hey, listen, I actually had a lot to do with something like that before with the Empower event. So yes, I have been involved with that. That is an idea that I do like. And I have been, not a lot of people know that I did actually pay my wrestlers to go do that. So that's not something that's crazy for us to do over here at AEW.
Right.
So if she asked it like that, then I get his point. I'm, erring on the side of I didn't hear the conversation.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
But if she was just like, hey, Tony Khan, would you do a women's event? And he was like a dick about it, which I don't know. Maybe he was. I don't know. I'd have to hear the conversation.
Yeah, it kind of sounded that way a little bit, but he didn't really answer the fulfilled question. He just pretty much saying, I'm trying to strive the women's division. That's why I did the TBS tournament.
Right.
I'm trying to strive it, make it at its peak. But it's like the debate about this is going back to all women's wrestling is there haven't really been given the time on Dynamite or Rampage as much. I know one match per show, but more like add another match to it. We need more women's wrestling, which we do. I have no disrespect because we both can say we're with all women's wrestling all day. But if should they do something? I think they should. They should do a one-night event, but not on YouTube. Do it on national TV one day at least, or a pay-per-view event. We've seen the pay-per-view. I mean, on YouTube when they did remember when they did the Japanese American tournament? They did that. That was awesome. But could we do actual on national television? I don't mind that. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it yourself, but I think we do need that more. For the women's roster at AEW to be more, there's more presentation to it.
there's a whole lot of gray area, especially with the opinions that I'm about to have, which are very fair and reasonable, where I like the women's roster in AEW, and they do suffer from doing the thing that Vince will do, where instead of having 4 matches with 8 wrestlers, he'll put 8 wrestlers in one match.
Yeah.
We just talked about how we're having just last night on Dynamite, it was like 4 versus 4, right?
3-on-3,
3-on-3. That was the only female match I can think of that was on that entire Dynamite, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So you did get to see half the roster, but it was all in one match. So yeah, do maybe break that up a little bit. Maybe do a tag, do a singles, maybe 2 singles and a tag. That'd be great. I do see plenty of the roster. I am familiar with almost every woman on that roster because I have seen them on TV in some capacity. But I do agree that more matches with less wrestlers per match might help a little bit. Obviously, we just talked about the buy-in for Full Gear. It's going to be like a 8-woman tag match on the buy-in, and there's only a singles one-on-one match on the main card. So yeah, there is definitely room to infuse more women. I like the direction they're going. I like all the wrestlers on there, but there's so many of them. Like, it's not like you have so many wrestlers that have plenty of room to wrestle. There's, legit Layla Hirsch. There's Serena Deeb just went full heel. Thunder Rosa. Abaddon just came back. Chris Statlander just came back. So many that are just like sitting in the undercard that could just be huge. Just give them some more time.
Yeah.
As far as a all-female card, I don't hate it and I don't love it. It's very polarizing because obviously Vince has done it before. We just talked about it. So now if they do it, are they copying them? And also women want to be, I'm trying to make this sound as fair as possible. Women do want to be treated equally. So I think giving them an entire card might be catering a little bit. I could be wrong. I apologize if that sounds like I'm wrong. I think it would be great if they did it. I have no opposition to it. I think a better solution is to have an almost equal amount of matches per main card, men and women. That to me is more than fair. And I would just like that because I think the world needs to see how talented these women are for sure.
Agreed.
Or, in the case of Sunny Kiss, they, them, he, her, all the above, because Sunny Kiss goes by any one of those. Obviously, one of the best wrestlers on the roster right now is Nyla Rose. And that's a person who is living a life that is awesome right now and super talented in the ring. Keep blowing them up, man. Just keep bringing them in and just infuse them into the actual ramp. You have 3 shows, right? Dark's still a thing. You have Rampage. You have Dynamite. You're not hurting for TV time.
And you have Elevation, but see, those are
Elevation, yeah. So there's plenty of room and plenty of time. Like, did we need to have Daniel Bryanson versus Rocky Romero? Did we need to have Jungle Boy? Put Jungle Boy over on Dark every now and then. Get people to watch Dark. I don't think enough people watch Dark. Mm-hmm. Send some ambassadors. Send some big names over to a smaller event.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of room to work. None of that's going to hurt. It's not like you're punishing someone by sending them to Shotgun Saturday Night. Or the other one, Heat, which, goddamn, I love Heat. Let me get this out of my way. I love Shotgun Saturday Night. I love Heat. There was nothing better than living in a motel at 1 a.m. and pro wrestling comes on, man. That was the jam.
Don't trip.
It was a great match. There was 1, 2, 3 Kid versus like Shawn Michaels had like match of the year on his Shotgun, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Or Razor Ramon or something. It was like, I think 1, 2, 3 Kid beat Razor Ramon on a Shotgun. Like, there is a lot of cool shit that happened on those smaller cards. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
definitely. But we will be doing a top 5 Saturday Night Heat or Shotgun Saturday Nights for sure. We got to do it.
Thursday Thunder.
We got to do that.
There was never a top 5 great anything on Thunder. I promise you.
No, not in Thunder. I'm talking about Sunday Night Heat or Shotgun Saturday Night.
Those are both awesome. Even Saturday mornings were great.
Definitely.
But those that's my opinion about the women's roster. The talent is there and the time is there. Just book it proper. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you on that.
And then, like, what's going to happen? Like, you book an all-female pay-per-view, and then you're like, oh, well, we did our thing. We did our favor. We did our service to the gender. Now we don't really have to do anything for them for a while. It kind of felt like a let's get it, like with the Kofi Kingston title reign. It was kind of we did our part. We got it out of the way. Now it's never going to happen again. You know what I'm saying? Like they did the fan service. They did the favor. Now stop talking about it. Let's move on. And I don't want that.
That's what I feel that for NWA, because they did that right. And then what's next now? I really haven't seen much. Yeah. Just more focusing on the men. Like I said, I'm with you of equality of matches that should be on national television. I'm with you on that 100%. I mean, I know that WWE did it. NWA just did it. Fucking let AEW do it. I mean, I don't care. For me, the more the better, because it's diversity at its best with different promotions doing it. But I just hope that it stays consistent. I think that's the one thing that is missing.
Yeah, that's the thing right there. That's
consistency on all brands, not just AEW, WWE, but also NWA. MOW is going to have a women's roster. New Japan should have a roster, but they have Stardom, but they barely focusing on them. Stardom is on their own. But shit like that, something that it should be equality, but consistency.
Yeah,
on national television.
I don't want big pops and then fizzles. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yeah,
I'm with you on that 100%.
Like it really treats it as a novelty. Evolution was a great card and all, but it treated it like a novelty. Like, oh look, we're doing an all women's card. Look how cool we are. Yeah. We're finally doing it after all this time. You guys asked for it. So it was like treating it like a circus instead of a sport.
Exactly. I'm with you on that. And that's why Matt Callis is here. He will tell you about Choco Pro. He'll tell you about Breath DDT. He'll tell you about Stardom, how their promotions, their all-female promotions are like their pinnacle in Japan, but it doesn't get enough exposure here in the States. So that's why you see
there's never really been an issue with, in my opinion, women wrestling in Japan. Like they've always, if it wasn't 50-50, it was like 60-40, 30-70 as far as like their saturation goes. It's always been enough to never make me question why isn't there more women wrestling in Japan or more Japanese wrestler women. You know, there's, I mean, so many names that are legendary. Bull Nakai, you know, obviously Maki Ito, everyone who went over to NXT and then came up on the main roster, Io Shirai. So
yeah,
Japan's consistently never had an issue with any of the genders coming through the rosters.
Definitely 100%. Man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of part 1 of episode 78. I will be joined by Mike in part 2, because this gentleman right here, even though he's back and we're happy he's back, he has to work. Unfortunately, he is a man with a job, he has to.
Back to reality. There goes gravity. I got to eat some spaghetti, and my mom's fed. I don't know. That sounds right? That's yeah, I played a show in Detroit, man. I'm as Eminem as it gets.
Hey, awesome, man. Before I let you go, let the people know what's coming up for, now that your official congratulations, by the way, publicly now we're saying here, not by message, for being official member of Fate Distorted. So let the people know, when is the next show for all of our SoCal listeners?
Yeah, man.
And when is the Fate Distorted?
That was a goal of mine for a while. So I'm still pretty stoked to be a part of that project. And officially say I'm in the band. Like that's a crazy sentence. We have a show November 19th at First Street Billiards in Boyle Heights, right down the street from the Aztec Temple from Lucha Underground. If anyone's familiar with the Cesar Chavez Ravine, that area, Ivan, hopefully you should make it at that show. That is November 19th. And then December 11th, we are direct support for a huge band called Raven Black at the Music Hall in Battle Creek, Michigan, December 11th. I'm excited for both shows, but I've got a very special amount of excitement for that second show, because it might be one of the biggest venues that we've played, at least in this particular project. You can find the links anywhere. Follow me on social media, Chris Kennedy Guitars, Fate Destroyed Band on Instagram, Fate Destroyed on Facebook. Check out our videos. We just released a tour video by Sean Brandon for the song Let's Crash. That's on our YouTube. A music video that came out before I joined called Death Signs featuring Jason Alessi. That's also on the YouTube. And that's pretty much all I got, man. I'm hyped to be active, because for a while there, I thought I was never going to play a show again. And I just played like 50 shows in 2 months, and I'm stoked.
I know you're stoked. And believe me, like, we're all stoked for you. And like I said, that will be on our link tree, just announcing right now, right in front of them. It will be on the link tree, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, dope, dude.
Fate Destroyed on our link tree will be there to follow them on their social media platforms. because there are the Circle Debate family. Since our family member here is part of it, they're part of it as well. And so most definitely make sure for keep an eye out for all SoCal Pro Wrestling fans and around the world when they go back on tour. When you're going on Michigan, make sure you follow Fate Destroyed. Buy their albums upcoming. Just, man, dude, support 100% because the director is out there directing you what Fate Destroyed is all about. That's what
yes, sir. I appreciate that so much, man.
You already know it. And we got more coming. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after these messages from Binford, I guess. Binford Tools, I guess.
From Binford Tools, from Harbor Freight, from
Harbor Freight Tools.
Harbor Freight. We could probably get Harbor Freight. I could probably pull that string. They're right down the street from all of us.
Hey, you never know.
Hey, I'm into it, dude.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.